First of all, let me just say congratulations.
This is what the U.S. military says is now its primary mission in Iraq, to train and advise an Iraqi army in the process of rebuilding. The same army U.S. forces crushed in the 2003 invasion and subsequently dismantled.
The difference today is that our primary focus is on stability and support operations and not offensive operations.
The U.S. has characterized its reduction of troop numbers as an end to combat operations. In a written statement, President Obama welcomed what he called the withdrawal of the last combat brigade, as troops made a very public exit across the Iraqi border into Kuwait. But in the semantics, a grey area about how the some 50,000 combat troops remaining should be viewed and what their official rules of engagement or non-engagement are.
The security agreement allows us to protect ourselves. It allows us to conduct operations in the name of force protection, and it also allows us to conduct operations if there's an imminent threat. In other words, that if we gain intelligence that someone is going to attack our forces, then we can preemptively attack the enemy.
General Ralph Baker has spent much of the past decade in Iraq, apart from a period spent in Washington as Middle East policy advisor to the most senior of U.S. military leaders, the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He studied military operations as a soldier on the ground and as an analyst from afar.
I would say that you cannot apply a template to the complex challenges that we face today here in Iraq or Afghanistan or perhaps future areas in the world. When you're fighting a counterinsurgency, the one commonality is that you're in competition with the insurgents or the terrorists for the confidence of the people.
It's because of this, perhaps, that General Baker says he's keen to keep in regular contact with the Iraqi media. His message at this time, that troop withdrawal does not mean U.S. disengagement.
We believe that a long-term, enduring strategic relationship between Iraq and the United States is in both of our national interests.
And as civilians in suits begin to join soldiers in uniforms at strategy meetings, a clear explanation about why he believes it's worth marking the deadline for the reduction in troop numbers.
And it really marks the transition from where the U.S. military has had the lead role in Iraq to one where the civilians and the diplomats are taking on the lead role and assuming those traditional relationships that we have with many other countries in the world.
Most agree a previous U.S. president prematurely declared an end to war. President Obama is likely to present his assessment when he formally welcomes home returning troops in coming days. The military has its own mode of measurement.
And the way we look at it is not so much in terms of waking up one morning and declaring victory as much as we measure the kind of progress that we make every day. And if you're making progress every day over here, then over time that progress will accumulate, and I think over time you can say that you're successful.
Like many of those closest to the shifting sands of Iraq, the general on the ground not prepared to declare victory or contemplate defeat. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.